Oh, look, it's time to start laughing. You may have heard a fella just clearing his throat just a moment ago, because it's time to celebrate Global Belly Laugh Day. Is there such a thing? Clear your throat, because we're going to start laughing. I think there is. Global Belly Laugh Day is a day for having a good deep chuckle at anything at all, including yours truly. You can laugh at me anytime you want to. There we go. Merv Neal is in the background. The discipline of science that studies laughter is called geolotology. Sorry, Merv Neal, am I getting it right?
Oh, you look close enough, Todd. Happy New Year to you. Always great to chat with you. The art of gelotology, so I classify myself as a gelotologist. Gelastos is the Latin word for laughter.
Yes.
So, it's all about the study of the science of laughter and the impact that it has on the body, mind and spirit.
Well, that's why we talk often, because you are the El Supremo when it comes to laughter yoga. I mean, Laughter Yoga Australia is just so important. We need to laugh. We need to make sure that we exercise within, and Laughing Yoga Australia, very, very important. How many times have you laughed today?
Oh, well, it's been a big day of laughter. I've actually been doing a 2-day laughter leader training, and today we actually went through 2 full 1-hour laughter sessions.
Right.
And then at the end of that, every Tuesday night, I'm here in Melbourne, so 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, free of charge every Tuesday night, we have our social laughter club online, free. So that's 3 hours of laughter. And now I'm going to have a laugh with you. So today has been an exception to the rule, but I believe today's a special day anyway, Todd.
Right, well, it is, because it's World Belly Laugh Day. Have you got any history on that? Do you know anything about that?
Look, only what I looked up when I heard about it, because I'm going, this is a bit unusual. Now, the first Sunday in May is World Laughter Day, and that was proclaimed by the fellow who recreated laughter yoga at an international level, Dr. Kataria in India. So he proclaimed World Laughter Day,
Really?
First Sunday in every May, yep, and we celebrate that. But I'll have to admit this was a new one for me. So I went on to good old Google and found out that it was a laughter yoga person some time ago. I haven't heard of them. Proclaimed today as World Belly Laughter Day. So good on them. It's a little bit odd, and I didn't know much about it, but let's talk about why we need to laugh from the belly, Todd.
Well, do you know what? We've spoken about Laughter Yoga Australia on a couple of occasions, and we've had a good laugh. But realistically, there's endorphins. There are chemicals that are released into the body. And I think because it's World Belly Laugh Day, first and foremost, I can't remember the last time I had a really good belly laugh. I think because the world is traveling so quickly at the moment, and it's a fast pace that we are sort of trying to keep up with, we don't take the time and effort to actually unleash from the diaphragm and the gut and make enough noise to frighten children.
We don't have to frighten children.
Yes, we do, mate. You know, when adults laugh out loud, the kids, and even the dogs, they go, rah, 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 rah. The dogs go nuts, and the kid, what's wrong with Dad? He's laughing. Just let him go. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. And the interesting thing is, because I study this, maybe I should get a life, but I just love studying laughter. And, I listen to the laugh with my eyes and watching the person laugh. And first of all, there is this really deep bodily movement when you laugh from your belly. It's as if your whole body is about to erupt like a volcano. It sort of builds up and up and up, and all of a sudden the mouth opens and there's a laughter that's really deep and guttural that comes right from the very core. So this is the essence of what a belly laughter is. And you've already hit on it, Todd. It's about engaging the diaphragm. And the diaphragm is an amazing internal organ. One of its jobs is to expel the air and the toxins from our lungs, so our lungs are elastic. So if you get that diaphragm pushing up in a really dynamic way, and this guttural, all of a sudden it's really crunching up the lungs and getting rid of all that stale air, bad air from our lungs. Now, the only way you can get fresh air in and oxygen in is to, first of all, get the bad air out to make room for it to come in.
Good call.
So the dynamic movement of the diaphragm, especially when we're belly laughing, really does get rid of all of that bad air from our lungs. But then when they expand, when the diaphragm gets out of the way, in comes the fresh air and you feel fantastic. You get an oxygen hit.
See, that's actually the science of laughter, and I've not thought about it before because I've been doing a bit of homework over Christmas, New Year, trying to rebuild from within. The amount of chemicals that your body can create for itself, the amount of healing your body can do for itself. It's amazing to think, and the simplicity of, as you say, the guttural belly laugh.
Yep.
And not only that, mate, this is an odd feeling, an odd comment. We laugh when something is funny, but also we laugh when we're nervous. We laugh sometimes when we're scared. We laugh for different reasons other than things that make us, that we find humorous. Why do you think that is? What's the science behind that?
Laughter is an expression, Todd, of all emotion. All right, anger, frustration, sadness, joy, happiness, you name them. It's an expression of all of the emotions. So you said, when we're concerned, we'll often go,
Yes.
So it's very much in the throat.
Nervous.
It's nervous. Yeah, you've got it in one. I'm nervous. I'm concerned. I'm frightened. It all comes from the throat. So we try to get rid of that. And then we go down to our heart space and do some hearty laughter. Now, when we go, ha, 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 that's in response to seeing or hearing something funny. So comedy, joke, slapstick, someone hurt themselves, but they were okay ultimately. We'll look and go, ha, 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 ha. So that's the response. When it's coming from the core, there's something deep within that goes, oh, this is really, really building up. Now, we can leave that to chance. And we have a really good belly laugh if we're with friends or buddies or something like that. I'm guaranteed belly laugh every time I talk to you because of a really deep connection to the other person and to yourself. But to be able to switch it on and get it working all by itself is the essence of what World Belly Day Laughter is all about, being able to switch on the diaphragm and really getting all of those muscles engaged and really pumping out a big, deep laugh from your core.
Do you know you're doing a good belly laugh when you actually are in pain? For example, the number of times, I mean, you do this for a living, but Yoga Australia teaches people to laugh through certain processes. I like the fact that you've taken the neck giggle down to the heart laugh, which I can hear the difference between the two. Then when you get to the guttural, which is the belly, you ache. You almost go into cramp mode. Does that mean you're doing it right, or does that mean, be careful, you could pop a hernia or something?
It's both. It's both. So once again, when we're engaging the diaphragm, there's two sets of muscles at play at any stage. So what I want you and the listeners to do, Todd, is just hold your arm out perpendicular to your body, horizontal to your body.
Okay, straight out in front.
That's it. Now lift it up in the air and then drop it down again.
Okay.
All right. Now, what's happening there is the muscles on the top of your arm are pulling up, but the muscles on the bottom of your arm have to let go. So when we're engaging the diaphragm and pushing from the diaphragm, guess where the push is actually coming from?
Okay.
Our pelvic floor. Pelvic floor.
Sure.
All right. So the pelvic floor is right behind it and assisting in pushing the diaphragm up. So once we've expelled the toxins and the bad air from our lungs and we drop the diaphragm, guess what else we've got to do? Drop the pelvic floor muscles, because otherwise you've got this big pressure coming from the core of your seat, from the core of your body and the diaphragm. And guess what? It pushes down and really causes quite a sharp pain on the organs and the muscles in that region.
Sure.
Area.
So you've got to be careful, even though you're having a magic moment, even though your mate's hurt himself and you're not supposed to laugh, but you still think it's funny, right? And you end up in pain from cramping. Is there one step beyond? Because the belly laugh, to me, what happens? When you've actually hit that point where you're in tears, you've got tears rolling down your face because something is so bloody funny. Is that beyond the belly laugh? Is that the ultimate?
Well, that's just the lacrimation process through the eyes, which is driven once again by the diaphragm. So the tears in our eyes, the tears of joy, are actually created by the movement of the diaphragm.
Wow. So
that's what's happening there. So if you get that really diaphragmatic belly laughter going, you might start to cry tears of joy.
Yes.
And this is when we're rolling on the floor, ROFL, we're rolling on the floor laughing. We're holding our guts, Todd, because they're so sore. We're holding our guts, tears streaming from our eyes. That is the ultimate piece de resistance. Laughter.
Yeah.
Absolute gem laughter.
So that means you're doing it right. When you're in pain and you're in tears, you're having a really good laugh. Am I right?
Well, maybe not the pain. Don't
Okay.
get to the pain level, because as soon as you feel that pain level, guess what? You're probably, creating a hernia type
Okay.
situation there.
Yeah.
So if you
And
do
it's
feel
not
a
funny.
pain though,
Yep.
just be mindful to relax
Yep.
the core a little bit,
Sure.
and make sure that both of those sets of muscles are working in unison with each other. And you'll find that you will be able to actually control the pain. And this is why, Todd, when people are laughing from the belly so much, they will actually hold their core, because they're trying to hold it in, because the muscles are actually starting to ache.
Yeah.
So just something to be mindful of.
I read somewhere that we should have 12 to 13 really good laughs per day. A lot of people are behind the eight ball, aren't they, Merv?
Yeah, look, I work closely with academics and scientists and all that sort of stuff. And our next interview, I've got some really big news to tell you from Bolton University in the UK that we're doing, but we'll keep that for next time.
Okay.
And these people are obsessed with numbers. We 13 times this, 4 times this, 5 times this, all this sort of stuff. So with that stat that you said, yeah, that could be the case. That could be the case that we need to laugh for 13 times a day. All I know is we need to openly laugh, and if it's a belly laugh, regularly.
Great.
Regularly, whatever that is. So when you see someone, hear something funny, don't hold back. Go, and just let it rip.
Yeah.
Just let it rip.
Well,
just let it rip.
I think
and
we should.
What this is doing, Todd, sorry, it's developing a sense of humour, or a sense for humour.
Yeah.
So the more we laugh, the more we want to laugh. So
Well
don't judge that you've got to laugh 3, 5. Just see the opportunity to laugh and let that belly laugh rip.
Laughter on World Belly Laugh Day, laughter yoga entrepreneur and expert Merv Neal. He joins us regularly. We always finish with a bit of a laugh, and I hope that you do as well. Merv, thank you for joining us on the night shift on 6PR. Everybody now, come on. It feels good, so just let it go. We'll take a break on 6PR.